Tim Lincecum and the Phillies have quite a history. At the age of 22, he made his major league debut against the Phillies almost 6 years ago to the day. And in 2010, the Giants and Lincecum stunned the entire city of Philadelphia by winning Game 1 of the NLCS. Tonight, Lincecum takes on the Phillies again next.
Beautiful night for baseball here at AT&T Park as we get ready for Game 2 of this 3-game series, Phillies and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants ran into a very tough Cliff Lee last night, and the stories around the Phillies is this Kyle Kendrick kid. He's pretty good. So what are the Giants going to have to do?
Well, they have to be patient. He's a pitcher that has an outstanding changeup, and guys like that, you can't look to pull. You basically have to be very patient and take what he gives you. I think one of the keys tonight is going to be Angel Pagan back in the lineup. He'll be leading off, and he's been an igniter the last couple weeks, so getting him back is a plus. In regards to Lincecum is 5-2 against this Phillies team, and this is a Phillies team that when he got to the big league 6 years ago, they're basically the same guys. So he knows them. He establishes that low fastball. He'll be tough.
All right, should be a good ball game here tonight at this beautiful yard. Hunter Pence, he had a big game last night against his former team. When we come back, Amy G is going to take a look at that right after these messages.
by Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
Well, after winning 6 straight, your San Francisco Giants lost to the Phillies last night. They look for a bounce-back win this evening as we get set for Game 2 of this 3-game series against Philadelphia. Welcome back to AT&T Park. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and Cliff Lee was simply stellar last night, but so was Hunter Pence. Lee only gave up 5 hits on the evening. Pence had 3 of them, and we're going to take a look at it right now. It's our AT&T U-verse Rewind this evening. Coming into the game, Pence, the only Giant who had homered off Lee, and he did it again in the second inning up the left field bleachers to the 5th inning, right center, a single, and he wasn't done. His third AB of the night, took it out of him, a double down the third base line. Now Pence is 6 for 11 against Lee in his career. Lee quoted last night after the game saying, "Take Pence out of the lineup and it would be a really good day. He's tough on me." All right, can Tim Lincecum be tough on the Phillies tonight? The Giants fans are certainly hoping so. He goes up against Kyle Kendrick. Kruk and Kipe will be back with first pitch and lineups. But first, after these messages, we're going to check in with our fellows standing by at Willie Mays Plaza. It is Say Hey Tuesday. Stay with us.
A beautiful night. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 61 degrees here at the yard. We have winds at 10 miles per hour. The humidity at 78%. It is partly cloudy. Tim Lincecum will lead his team out of the dugout, located along the third base side. The lineup that he'll be facing looks like this. It'll be Rollins, Utley, and then Michael Young. Ryan Howard has got 4 lifetime home runs off of Tim Lincecum. It'll be Ruiz. He did not start last night, hitting 5th tonight. Then Dominic Brown, followed by Nix, Revere, and then Kyle Kindred.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Tim Lincecum, making start number 7. He's 2-1 with a 4.41 ERA. And look at the strikeout totals, averaging more than 9 per inning against 17 walks. 50 base runners in 34 2/3. When he's right, you're going to see a fastball that's low to mid 90s, more lows than mids. Got a good curveball slider split combination. 28 years old in his 6th year at the big league level. Lifetime against these Phillies 5-2 with a 3.00 ERA. He knows them well. He's pitched a long time against these guys, and a lot of them have a lot of at-bats against him. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Tim Lincecum tonight, starting in the Giants left field. From left to right, it's Blanco, Pagan, and Pence. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Scudero and Bell on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs. Nice to see Angel Pagan back in the lineup.
And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way. And it's inside, so we get started at 7:14. Rollins takes high. Remember Mike DeMuro now behind the dish. Rollins went 0 for 4 last night with an RBI. And there's a strike to make it 2-1. So the first strike always calms everybody down. DeMuro, Bellino, Barrett, and Marquez. Let's hit out of play. It's 2-2.
DeMuro strike zone. He likes the low strike. He does not have big corners, and it's a tight zone. If you were to rate it a pitcher's umpire or a hitter's umpire, you would say he is a hitter's umpire.
Seen a few of those lately. And this game starts out with Jimmy Rollins swinging and missing on a split.
Watch the release point. As long as that release point's out front, then he's going to be able to start stuff mid-thigh and let all of his specialty pitches drop below the knees. Here he uses the split. It's the same thing for the curveball and the slider.
So here's Utley. Utley in the ball game last night went 1 for 4. He drew a walk. And here he takes a strike on the inside corner. Now, if the radar gun is right, that was at 94.
He's been flirting with good mechanics for a while, and it was just a matter of time before he locks into him. And when that happens and he gets his mechanics back, he will get some more velocity.
On deck is Michael Young. Utley, in 30 at-bats, has 5 lifetime hits against Lincecum. One of those hits a double, another of those hits a home run. On the outside corner, 1-2.
Take a look at the pitches that he throws and how frequently he'll throw them. And fastball most of the time. The slider is his most used specialty pitch. The curveball is his least used. And talking about the histories of Lincecum and Utley, this is the 31st time that he's faced him. Lincecum has struck him out 12 times. He's only walked him once.
6 home runs, 21 RBIs for Utley. And it's a full count. Phillies are 15-18. They're 3 games under 500 in the National League East. They're 7-8 on the road. They are a veteran team. Off of Lincecum. Lincecum will recover, flip and throw, and he throws it down the right field line. Scudero cannot get to it, and Utley will jog into second base.
You know, the thing about coming over to the sideline as a pitcher on a play like that, you think you have no time, and you really do have time to get a little more balanced, to get off a more accurate throw. So a mistake from Lincecum, and it winds up being 180 foot mistake.
Threw a hit and an error.
That's a generous call.
And here's Michael Young.
Now, what if he goes ahead and throws a one-hitter? You're going to think about that. That's not a hit.
Young had a good ball game last night. He went 3 for 4.
Ball hits off and comes back towards the line. Now he comes back to get it. Here's where he had a little more time than he thought. Hurries the throw, and it looked like he was throwing to Dan Bellino, the first base umpire.
In tight, 2-0.
See where it hits him. Right on the right cheek. If you're going to get hit, that's a good place.
Two and one now to Michael Young.
I think of all the pitches that he has, the one he feels most confident in throwing when he absolutely has to throw a strike is that slider.
Utley trying to walk into a lead. As Young takes inside, it's 3-1. On deck is Ryan Howard. And it's low, so Young takes the walk. So here's Howard. Very dangerous. 1 for 5 last night with 3 strikeouts. Crawford will keep an eye on Utley. He'll also play Howard to pull. And the first pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So Lincecum trying to get used to the stretch. No overshift, but Scutero playing Howard to pull on the infield. And it's 2-0.
Well, this is definitely a get it in pitch. Beautiful thing about his slider is it will get ground balls if he keeps it down. And he needs one here.
Scutero caroms off of his glove. Utley's coming in to score, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia.
It's the game of inches. If he comes up with that play, it's an easy double play. Top spin liner, just an absolute bullet coming at you with sink. And you got to get over there and try and catch it on your backhand. And Marco Scutero is not going to be happy about that.
So here's Ruiz. Ruiz just coming off the suspended list. He's 2 for 20. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 5 for 20. The history between Ruiz and Lincecum, and these numbers lifetime we give you do not include at bats in postseason. This is fouled out of play. A 22 pitch inning so far for Lincecum. And Ruiz, another good rip. And a nice catch by a fan in that front row of the club level.
Hey, the gang's all here.
Yep. Blocked by Buster Posey. An important block. It's 1-2. So they're always, it seems this year for Lincecum, been that one inning where he's had to pitch his tail off. And in this particular night, it's the first inning.
Straightaway defense in the outfield, straightaway defense in the infield. Yeah, the alignment they've set up right now is pretty much where Abner Doubleday put him.
Got him.
93-mile-an-hour fastball with cut going away, and he gets Ruiz rather, to chase. 2 strikeouts, 2 swing and strike threes. The 2 types of fastball that he'll throw, the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer, both with really different movement. One, the 4-seamer will have cut that runs away from a righty. The 2-seamer will go the other way into a righty away from a lefty.
Here's Dominic Brown. Brown has only faced Lincecum 3 times. He's 0 for 3. Did have a hit yesterday, and it was a long home run. Took one big bounce into the Cove. 2 balls and no strikes.
And he beats the scout report. Book on his, pitch him inside. They go inside, and he just yanks. Completely opened up. And the way that he took his stride leads me to believe he was looking for something middle in, and he got it.
So it's 2-1 to Brown. At second base is Young. He walked. Howard at first. An RBI single off the glove of Scudero, and that pitch is wide, and it's 3-1.
Next pitch will be number 30. It's not uncommon to see him throw a lot of pitches in the first.
Three and 2.
Brown helped him out. This gives you an idea of how much he wants to swing the bat. He's sitting on a 3-1 count. He did the same thing in last night's ball game. Swung at a fastball on a 1-0 count, completely out of the strike zone. Just sitting in count leverage and just launching no matter where it is.
Got him. Lincecum limits the damage. 1-0 Phillies. Bochy's lineup. Angel Pagan back in the lineup, followed by Scudero, Sandoval, Buster Posey, the cleanup hitter, and then hitting 5th is Hunter Pence. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, and he's hitting the ball hard. Blanco back in the lineup, followed by Belt and Crawford, and then Lincecum pitching and batting 9th.
On the hill for the Phillies tonight is the right-hander Kyle Kendrick, 6'3", 210-pounder. He's 28 years old in his 5th year at the big league level. And this is what he has done in 6 starts. He's been good. 3-1 with a 2.43 ERA, and especially his last 4 starts, he's locked it in. 29 strikeouts against 10 walks in 40 2/3. And not going to blow you away with a lot of velocity, but he will impress you with movement in the fastball. He'll sink and cut the fastball. He's got a slider and a changeup, and his changeup is legit. It really is a split. But nevertheless, it's a great off-speed pitch. And he'll throw it any time.
So here's Pagan. Last played on Saturday. And he takes a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Hitting at 275 with a home run and 13 runs batted in. In at third is Michael Young. Giants are 19-13. They've won 6 of 7 and are 11-5 at home. Foul back, good swing by Pagan, 1-2.
Check out the defense the Phillies will play tonight. Behind Kyle Kendrick, starting in the outfield from left to right, will be Brown, Revere, and Nix. Rollins Young on the left side of the infield, Utley Howard on the right side. And Carlos Ruiz will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
And Pagan got a piece, so he lives to see another pitch.
Best arm in the outfield for the Phillies is in left field with Dominic Brown.
The 1-2 to Pagan. And Pagan out in front. This time he could not get a piece of it, and he comes out limping.
He's reaching for that split. And the right leg is where he's been experiencing the problem. And as he put his weight forward on that right leg, it buckled a little bit.
Scudero takes one in tight, 1-0. Sandoval on deck. And Scudero takes one right down Broadway, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that's a good sink. You'll see a lot of ground balls from Kendrick with that 2-seam fastball.
On the ground, Utley will try to cut it off. He does. 2 outs.
Take a look at the pitch usage for Kendrick last year. And look at how many more fastballs he's throwing this year. 64% of what he's throwing is a fastball. And that's because of the use of that sinker cutter combination. I mean, he's throwing a lot more of them. Slider, he just kind of doesn't really throw it a lot. He cuts the fastball, and the changeup is his best off-speed pitch, but yet he's throwing those less this year. So the fastball really has become his go-to pitch.
Here's Sandoval, who hits one to the left. Moving back is Brown, and Brown will put it away on the track. And that'll end the inning. After 1-0 Phillies.
area is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's Great American Cash Giveaway. Thousands of dollars every weekend. Visit cashcreek.com for details.
Well, the series continues tomorrow, and it'll be a day game, so check out the final game of the series at 12:45. Barry Zito will be on the hill for the Giants. It'll be Jonathan Pettibone, as this is lined into right field, as Lance Nix doesn't waste any time, as he singles in the right field. So check out the game tomorrow. Visit sfgiants.com.
Boy, Lance Nix hit that like he knew it was coming. He was sitting on one pitch, one location, and got it. He got everything into this swing. First pitch challenge, fastball, middle in. And he just tells you if he's looking fastball, what side of the plate he sits on. Middle in. Something to remember if you're pitching to him.
So here's the speedy Ben Revere, who takes down low. Hitting .212 with 5 runs batted in. Did not start last night. He did get into the game late. In at third is Sandoval, and now Lincecum's got to throw him a strike.
And those are easy takes. He's 34 pitches into the night. He's throwing 17 balls. He has not gotten that release point located yet. Still searching for it.
Hit up the middle and into center field past Lincecum. And now it's set up perfectly for Kyle Kendrick. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, as expected, Jose Mijares activated off the restricted list today. Giants option Gene Machi to Fresno as the corresponding move. And gentlemen, the skipper Bruce Bochy making it a point to talk about what a good job Machi did while he was here, saying that the way he performed let the team have the utmost confidence in calling him up at any time. Bochy said he has the equipment to be here, a good fastball, split, and slider. And when Machi is right, he's very tough to hit. So job well done by Gene, guys.
All right, here's Kendrick, who lays down a good bunt. Sandoval will take his time. Both runners move up, and Kendrick does it on the first pitch.
Can't do any better than that. Runs the first and second, should go down the third base line. And as you point out, on the first pitch, definitely feeds the momentum of a good inning. Well, in regards to Gene Machi, I mean, he really opened up some eyes here, and he'll be back, no question.
Well, you know, a lot of times it has nothing more to do than having options left. And you can be the odd guy out, and that's what it was with Gene Machi. So here's Rollins. Belt and Sandoval will play even with the bag, and that's hit on the ground to Scudero. Scudero will make the play at first, and Nix comes in to score. It's 2-0.
Well, the Giants playing the middle infield back. They're trying to stay out of the big inning, and that ball was hit right on the nose. If it's 5th, 6th, 7th inning, you're bringing that infield in a one-run game. But nevertheless, a nice at bat from Jimmy Rollins to get the job done. Defense was giving him an RBI up the middle. He just took it.
So here's Utley with Ben Revere at third and 2 outs. Utley hit a ball off of Lincecum and reached first, and then went on to second on Lincecum's wild throw. Here he hits this one up the middle for a base hit, and it's 3-0.
Nothing fancy, pretty disciplined approach, going right back up the middle. Talked about the success that Lincecum had against Utley lifetime coming into tonight's ball game. And that at bat right there is just Utley not being greedy.
Yeah, I mean, look, Utley hasn't exactly stung the ball, but he's doing everything right. Hit it back up the middle. So here's Michael Young. Young drew a walk in the first inning as Dave Righetti says what he needs to say.
Tim Lincecum, opponent batting average with runners on 309. With runners in scoring position, 2 outs, they're hitting 368 against him. That's when he's least effective.
Well, I will tell you this. There's a time where it was just the opposite.
Well, absolutely it was the time. And it was when he had better command of his stuff. Because what happens with men on base, he'll pitch for the strikeout early in the count, he'll fall behind. And when he falls behind, that's when they get him. You go back and look at all those counts with runners in scoring position, I'll guarantee the majority of the damage that has been done to him has been when the hitter has had count leverage.
One and 0 to Young. 2-0 to Young.
Behind in the count, and he doesn't have that problem when he's in the windup with nobody on.
Hunter Pence is going to move back, starting to drift, and Pence will put it away in front of archway number 4. It's 3-0 Phillies.
Insurance brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEPINS.com.
It's 3-0 Phillies as Buster Posey stands in. 283 for Buster Posey. 4 home runs, 19 driven in. I think Buster actually thought that was a strike. He's 1 for 2 lifetime against Kendrick.
Pretty much all two-seam fastballs coming off the hand of Kendrick right now.
And to follow.
And that's the breaking ball. That's his slider, more of a slurve. It's kind of a cross between a slider and a curveball. But he's got good feel with it. He spots it well.
Two and 2. Buster Posey last night went 0 for 3. Giants had 5 hits last night, and Hunter Pence had 3 of the 5. And Kendrick comes up with his second strikeout.
Good split. First time that he showed it to Posey was in the 2-strike count. And it's a swing and miss split. You can see the action on this thing. It just dies. Posey way out front.
So here's Pence. See the numbers at home for Pence. He's digging AT&T Park. And a high fastball makes it 1 ball and no strikes. He ended up going 3 for 3 with an RBI last night. Pence now with 20 RBIs on the season. He does lead the club in home runs with 6. Oh yeah, he had one of those last night too.
Yes, he did. And a 2-strike count, I might add.
Fouls this one just in front of us.
Look at the first couple of starts for Kendrick. He did not have a changeup, and when all of a sudden he got the feel of the changeup, opponents hitting 194. Slugging percentage down to 258. Talk about how powerful one pitch can be to a guy. That was a great example of it. First 2 starts, ERA of 5.40. In the last 4 starts, he's been the best pitcher on this team. 2-0 with a 1.24. And that's being locked in.
Down the right field line, foul.
Right man, right spot.
And the 2-2 to Pence. Pence shoots this one into right center field. Nix is coming in and he'll put it away.
Look at that. I mean, that's a pretty productive at bat, even though you make it out the first time through the lineup, because what Pence got a chance to see there was everything.
Everything, you bet.
That Kendrick throws. And that's valuable knowledge. And that's the type of at bat you try to have your first time.
Here's Blanco. Blanco did not get into the game last night. Here he bunts this one. It's a pretty good bunt. And Blanco is out at first on a terrific play. It remains 3-0 Phillies.
Brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the solar company.
Phillies with a run in the first, 2 in the second. Here it'll be Howard, Ruiz, and Brown. Overshift is on for Howard, and Lincecum falls behind 1-0. It's a very difficult time for Lincecum with that first pitch strike. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Sandoval at the shortstop position.
You know, you can pitch effectively behind the count, but you have to have command of your secondary pitches. And you just walk a fine line when you're consistently 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. In regards to his mechanics, I mean, he's not that far off because you look at the velocity of his fastball. We've seen 94 miles an hour up tonight on the fastball. You're not going to throw that type of fastball unless you're snapping the ball pretty good. But it's just not consistent.
Well, another 3-2 count.
And this really is a get-it-in situation.
And the walk.
And an easy take. Well, one common goal. The official Giants commemorative book about the 2012 championship season is here. Forward is written by Buster Posey. The afterword written by Matt Cain. Exclusive photos tell the story of a team that refused to give up. Relive this great time in history for only $40. Visit your local Giants dugout store to get it, or you can go to sfgiants.com and click on the fan tab to order.
I think they showed a picture, Mike, of us working very hard before a ball game in Miami. Actually, if I recall what the picture looked like, it looked like I was working hard in the booth.
There's not a whole lot of stress in that booth right there. we gotta look a little more stressful.
Well, if you look in the other booth, they look like they're stressed out over there.
They look like they're earning their paycheck. You know, the other problem about not having great command is that you don't get the corner pitches. As soon as you get that umpire thinking ball, he's going to start looking for him. And those corners, all of a sudden, they go away. Heads up. Okay, we're good.
Two and two to Carlos Ruiz. 3-2.
Very frustrating for the pitcher, as you can imagine.
Hit on the ground to Crawford. Crawford, a nice stab. He goes to Scudero. Scudero to Belt. And Lincecum needed that.
Badly. A 3-2 perfect ground ball to Crawford. And 2 submarine throws. One from Crawford, one from Scudero. They get the pair. And it's amazing how something like that can turn you around.
Here's Dominic Brown, who takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Lincecum struck out the side in the first inning. He did allow the 1 run. This is rolled foul. It's a ball and a strike. On the ground to Belt, and now it hit Brown's foot, so it's 1-2.
I'm not sure about that. Buster Posey's saying I think he's making a case too. I mean, if a guy hits a ball with a foot, I want to see him at least limp.
I agree.
I mean, if I'm pitching to him. All right, the old left-hander, the old Sox. It's Ken Walling down there on the first base side tonight, our ball dude.
Up the middle. Scudero to Belt. Side retired. So the double play helped. Life is good in the Cove.
How about a cold run?
The Phillies, Larry Anderson. Why does everybody stand up and sing "Take me out to the ball game" when they're already there? Belt takes the ball, 1-0.
That's a good question.
There's a lot of oddities in baseball like that. Belt, base hit left field. First hit for the Giants, and that's a good sign for Brandon Belt.
Yeah, and I think other guys in that dugout should pay attention to the approach, go the opposite way, especially from the left side. There's Larry Anderson. Just had a birthday yesterday.
Yeah. Good dude. Okay, Mikey.
I don't know if I could pull that off.
I remember a team party where you had something like that on.
Well, it was just for an hour.
Here's Crawford, who takes inside for a ball.
Oh, yeah. G. Gill.
Hey. Have a couple of cocktails, go in the garage, and you never know what you might come up with.
Hey, you got enough glue, you can make it work.
Come back in the house, put it on your head, and say, "Hey, hon, what do you think?" Well, I think you should wear it to the park.
Yeah, that's definitely made in the garage right there. You can't buy that.
My goodness. Crawford down the left field line. This is trouble. It is trouble. It's a fair ball, and it bounces into the seats for a ground rule double. Dominic Brown came very close to hitting the highlight reels tonight.
That would have been the play of the month right there. They're sitting up on that inside corner. It gets a little leaky out of the plate. The inside out's it the opposite way. And he got slow out of the box. I think he thought it out the crack of the bat. It was going to be foul, but look at the effort from Brown. It's like he overshot it a little bit. 2 at bats, 2 hits. 2 hits the opposite way.
Here's Lincecum with the infield in, and Lincecum takes wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Lincecum's got an RBI this year. He's 1 for 10. But this is when you can be a better hitter with that infield in. You can poke one through the infield.
Just have to make contact. Any kind of contact. Put it in play.
I have no idea why they're playing the infield in.
With a 3-run lead, I don't understand it either. But it's an opportunity to go big. There's the overshoot with the glove.
Yep.
Get a really good look with our 3rd line camera basket.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And just as you said that, they sent Chase Utley back at second, and now Jimmy Rollins, the shortstop, is going to play normal depth. And Charlie Manuel heard you.
Foul back, 2-2. This is a case, if you're Lincecum, the perfect out would be a ground ball to Utley.
Well, it would score a run, and it would allow Crawford to go to 3rd. That would be a very productive out.
And Lincecum strikes out.
A little back foot slider for the payout pitch, which is what Kendrick was playing for. He was pitching for the strikeout, no question. Every pitcher would with a pitcher up.
So here's Pagan. Pagan struck out in the 1st inning. And here he takes a strike, a fastball at the knees, and it's 0-1.
That's big time sink on that fastball, that 2-seam fastball from Kendrick. He locates that thing on the inside corner of the lefty. It's going to be tough to stay in there for it.
Outside to Pagan.
Big at bat right here. Giants have to get something out of this at bat.
Now it's 1-2.
That's that front door sink we're talking about. You see that thing and you know that's going to be inside. Then all of a sudden here comes the movement back in the strike zone, and watch this thing come back in. He backs off actually thinking it might hit him.
So Pagan now tried very hard to put the ball in play.
Now Ruiz going to come out and talk about it. The discussion right there is all about location. It's amazed me every once in a while you see a catcher go out there have a discussion, come back behind home plate, put the sign down, the pitcher shake him off. I never could understand that.
Changed his mind. Into center field. Rivera's there. He's got it. Belt is tagging. Here's the throw home, and it's cut off. And Pagan gives the Giants a run here in the third inning. And like Mike said, that's a big run.
Well, that's a good at bat, too. I mean, he got the situation, and he nailed it, and it did it a 2-strike count. And really, he didn't get a hanger either from Kendrick. That thing was down on the knees in the outside corner. Watch the location. They set up on that outside part of the plate, tried to backdoor a little cutter. Now, Ben Rivera on center field does not have a good arm. They're gonna challenge him all day long.
Here's Scudero. Scudero down the left field line. That's going to knock in Crawford. It's a 3-2 ball game. Marco Scudero, RBI number 5 on the season.
Well, we're going to make that our forward-right choice. And with 2 outs, Kendrick's thinking, all right, I can minimize the damage, get out of here, give it up 1 run. Comes back in with a sinker, first pitch challenge, and Scudero opens up on it and fires one right down the third base line. And that is a huge momentum change right there. To extend this inning in a 2-out at bat, knock in an RBI and get closer, we're going to make that our forward-right choice.
So now Sandoval will hit. Sandoval leads his team with 24 RBIs. And he takes Lowy. Lined a ball to left field that Brown caught on the warning track. High and deep, and I think foul.
Well,
oh my goodness, these guys actually have to move.
This is a red alert right here. Whoop,
here we go.
Whoop. Oh! All right. And the brawny guy that sells paper towels just made a nice play. Ooh, that got to Miro and rocked him right in the face.
Goodness. Come running in is Ted Barrett, along with the other 3 umpires. This is as solid of a hit as you're ever going to see.
And he almost lost his feet. Dave Gresser coming out. We're going to take a long look at him. Tried to go inside to Pablo Sandoval, and he just spins on it.
Oh, man, just 10 more feet to the left.
This is a great fire alarm right here.
That'll hit the boat.
Pull up anchor.
Uh-oh. Is he down? Oh, no, he's up. Not at any point did they think they were going to have to actually move tonight.
Oh, he just spilled his beer. Got his leg wet. They don't care.
It was 1 and 2 to Sandoval.
I'm listening to John and Dave on the radio.
Sandoval lines it to right. Nix is going to reach up and put it away. And that'll end the inning. Nice at bat for Sandoval. It's a 3-2 ball game.
Your answer to CSN Giants. Question tonight. Rollins and Utley have started 986 games together as a shortstop second base combo for the Phillies. What Giants shortstop second base combo has started the most together in the San Francisco era? Again, if you know the answer, tweet your answer to CSN Giants. So the Giants, with a couple on the board, inch to within one of the Phillies, and we head to the top of the fourth. Phillies on top, 3-2.
It's like the cover of a book, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Gorgeous.
Here's Lance Nix, who ambushed Lincecum, and he does it again. All right, let's check in with Amy G.
Well, Dwayne, we're switching it up tonight, and we're going to talk about a great San Francisco Giant that used to be a Philly. And here's why, because we're talking about this guy. That's right. Mike Krukow was a Philly in 1982, just one season, but what a season it was, over 200 innings. He won 13 games with a 3.12 ERA. My favorite part, Mike, is your swagger coming off the mound. You're looking good. He came to the Giants after that season in a very high-profile trade for Joe Morgan. And, Mike, I got to tell you, you looked good in blue and red, but you looked way better in black and orange, guys.
Yeah, he looks way better in everything.
Well, thank you, Amer the Gamer. I enjoyed my year in Philadelphia. It's a fun town to play baseball in. It's the only time in my career I ever was in a one-team town.
Oh, yeah. You can tell who her favorite is.
Yeah. Well, why not?
1 ball and 1 strike to Ben Revere, who singled and scored in the second. Runner goes. Posey's throw is offline into center field. And Nix will not have a chance to move on.
First stolen base of the year for Lance Nix, and he just took advantage of Lincecum's slow release. And it looked to me like Lester had a great grip. Looked like he threw a pretty good cutter out to Brandon Crawford.
Not close. 3-1.
That was pitch number 65 for Lincecum.
And that's dribbled foul, third base side. 3-2.
Are there ball dude Kevin Walling? So a couple of lefties out there tonight.
Dad and a son, right?
Yeah.
Got him.
Strikeout number 4, and that's the first called strike 3. And he got him on a nice little slider that locked up Revere. And that's exactly what he was pitching for. The runner at second, nobody out. So he gets that strikeout.
So here's Kendrick. A sacrifice bunt for Kendrick in the second. Here he takes a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Mix them all in right now, Tim Lincecum. Foul back, 0-2. On deck is Jimmy Rollins. 3-2 Phillies. Got him.
Big curveball for the payoff pitch. And Mike Muro says, see you later.
Got a problem here, Mike.
Well, she's feeling a lot better now that Giants got a couple runs.
I want to know who's got the keys to the car. Rollins on the ground to Belt. Belt with those long strides, and Lincecum after a leadoff single by Lance Nix. Giants are coming up. Posey, Pence, and Blanco. Problem.
The San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
All right, time now to ask and answer our AT&T trivia question. Our AT&T trivia question tonight. Rollins and Utley have started 986 games together as a shortstop second base combo for the Phillies. What Giants shortstop second base combo has started the most together in the San Francisco era? Well, it was Jose Uribe and Robbie Thompson, and they were fantastic.
They indeed were. Here's Buster Posey.
Great teammates, the both of them.
Posey, look out, right back to where it came from, and Buster Posey with the leadoff single. This is called the Crazy Crab. That's here at the ballpark, and you got to try one. My goodness, they're fantastic.
They are fantastic. They're an investment, but you'll enjoy every bite. They're that good.
Lucille is going to take the Fanatic out there for, he's buying, I guess, for a crab sandwich.
Yeah, the Philly Fanatic can eat too, by the way.
Pence with a big swing and a miss at a curveball. He had a fly ball to right field in the second inning. There's the Crazy Crab.
And there may be a line, it's worth the wait. They're that good. That whole area out there behind the center field scoreboard is fantastic.
Fantastic. On the ground, it could be a pair. Young kicks it. Everybody's safe. And the Giants catch a break.
Well, that's a 2-out mistake right there. And it's just all about the exchange. He snags it, and right here he can't get a grip. And boy, you just want to take a bite out of it.
You also want to go to the mound, and you want to look that starting pitcher right in the eye, and you want to say, I am really sorry. You do. But instead, you might tap your chest and say, my bad, and move on.
Cannot linger on a physical error. It's a Hunter Pence fan.
So here's Blanco. Blanco tried to bunt his way on in the second inning, and Kendrick made a nice play to throw him out. At the knees, and it's 0-1. Posey at second. Pence at first. Look out.
Watch your lips.
One ball and one strike here. If you square around the bunt or turn the bunt, you never know. This could happen.
And he almost leans into it.
And the ball almost hit his bat.
That would have been a rough strike. I know one thing, it got his attention. It changed his expression in the middle of this at bat.
One and two.
Front door to him with that sink. You want to accelerate a guy's bat speed, throw it in his face.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
It's 2-2 now to Gregor Blanco. Blanco 2 for 8 history against Kendrick coming into today's game.
Well, Kendrick's trying to strike him out here. We're at second over the out. The beautiful thing about Kendrick, though, is he's got that sinking fastball too. So even if the ball gets put into play, it can still get hit on the ground. Such is the life of a sinker baller.
Got him.
Backdoored him with a little cutter. So the strikeout he was pitching for, he gets.
So here's Belt. Hendrick will have to get through 3 left-handed hitters here. Belt lined a single in the left field to open up the 3rd inning.
Front door sinker. As big a movement as Kendrick has on that two-seamer, that really is a go-to pitch against lefties.
Oh, 2.
And if you're hitting off of those last 2 pitches, sinker first pitch, cutter second pitch, imagine the ball coming at you straight line, one going one way, one going the other way right at the end. And that's what those 2 pitches are. That's a great 2-pitch sequence in a perfect location.
And a bit of an overthrow. It's 1 and 2.
Trying to elevate. Easy take.
Got him.
They just can't pull the trigger. You see that thing early, you are completely convinced it's inside. And then here comes the movement. Bang, right on the inside corner, it hits the glove.
So here's Crawford. Crawford had a nice double down the left field line in the 3rd inning. Rolls this one to Young at 3rd, and that'll end the inning. So Kendrick did a nice job of picking up Michael Young, who made the error here in the 4th. 3-2 Phillies. Fernando Cepeda hit a tape-measure home run. It helped the Giants beat the Phillies 7-0 at Connie Mack Stadium. The three-run homer off of Robin Roberts cleared the roof of the second deck, and they said the drive went more than 500 feet. Cepeda, lifetime against the Hall of Famer Robin Roberts, 254, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Here's Utley. Utley, Young, and Howard, 3-2 Phillies. Utley hits a long one into deep right center field. Pence is looking up, and it is gone. Home run number 7 for Utley.
And that was no cheapie either. Looking for something off speed and getting what he's looking for. Got some backspin on the deepest part of this yard. And when a left-hander can take one out here, he's flexing his muscles.
Yeah. Here's Michael Young. Young takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Sandoval on a nice play, and they get Young.
Well, that was a nice play. You don't have time to think about this one. Watch Sandoval just basically take a little half step with his right foot and then fall to his backhand. But watch how he 360s into a stance, quickly gets to his back leg, squares, and hits his target.
Blows a bubble. Blows a bubble.
Yeah, in the midst, blows a bubble.
Here's Howard. Howard is 1 for 1, a single and a walk. No balls and 1 strike. Scudero playing in shallow right field. Crawford to the right of second base. At the knees, 1-2. Scudero from deep right field. Nice play. 2 down.
Well, the shift certainly worked there. Hey, Thursday, May 9th, the Giants take on the Atlanta Braves at 7:15. That night is also the Giants' annual food drive presented by Visa. This year's donation will be benefiting the San Francisco and Marin food banks. The first 5,000 fans who donate food or $5 to one of the food bank donation barrels at the gates will receive a Giants World Champions tote bag. If you're coming out to the ballpark on Thursday, May 9th, please support this great cause.
Here's Carlos Ruiz, who hit into a double play in the 3rd inning. A couple guys that brought their hats, their lids. 3-0 to Ruiz. Rockies beat the Yankees tonight. They shut them out 2-0 in Denver on a night where it looked like it rained the entire ball game. 3-1 to Ruiz.
Denver has really had some crazy weather this spring.
Pulled foul. Now, there have been a lot of games lost this year. Kansas City has lost a handful of games. But Denver's had a lot of snow.
Giants will see Denver for 4 days on the next road trip. 2 in Toronto, 4 in Denver.
Scudero's got it, and that'll end the inning. The home run by Utley. It's now back to a 2-run lead. Phillies 4, Giants 2. By Chevron, it'll be Jonathan Pettibone against Barry Zito. You can join us right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area at noon. Giants pregame live before the first pitch, right around 12:45. That's our Chevron pitching matchup. So Lincecum, followed by Pagan and then Scudero. Bottom of the 5th.
Kendrick has really spotted that 2-seam fastball beautifully tonight. I feel appreciated. Thanks. Room 17, elementary. My class rocks. They got her tickets. That's good class.
That is a good class.
She's teaching them well.
0-2 to Lincecum as he lifts this one foul. Lincecum trying to reach here in the 5th, make it tough on Kendrick. And he got him looking.
Again, front door sinker. Well, the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit, led by Tony Kowaleski, well, they're an award-winning team of 14 journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. The Investigative Unit on NBC Bay Area. We investigate. Kendrick has struck out 3 of the last 4 Giants hitters, all on front door sink, being the payoff pitch.
Here's Pagan, who's 0 for 1.
Big Angel fans.
You can see the fog that has rolled into this park has reached ground level. Pagan rolls it foul. That'll kick past Dan Bellino. Only in San Francisco.
I love it. You know, a few things came over to AT&T from Candlestick, and the fog was one of them.
I've told this story before, but first couple of games I did with Joe Morgan back in Giants Vision days, I said, yep, the clouds are rolling in. And Joe was like, what? Did you just say clouds? Yeah, sorry.
Well, he's a Northern Californian. He understands what that really was.
3-1 to Pagan. Well, in Sturtevant, Wisconsin, those are clouds. Scudero on deck. Giants looking for a base runner or two. And that's skied through the fog for Ben Revere. 2 outs.
I thought that was a pretty good bet. Thought he was able to hang in there with that front door sinker a whole lot better this at bat than he did his previous two.
Well, you can call the 4th inning the inning of the front door sinker.
I mean, he really has used that side of the plate this time through the lineup.
Here's Scudero. Scudero doubled in the Giants' second run. He did that in the 3rd inning. The Dodgers and D-backs are tied 2-2. That game is in the 5th inning at Dodger Stadium. Breaking ball is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Scudero is going to flip one into left field for a base hit. Starting to get that magic wand working.
He sure is. I mean, it's almost like he's averaging a couple of hits a game now as he's building his batting average. Pretty good homestand for him.
And they are ready for Pablo Sandoval to hit.
Oh, yeah. And so are they.
These guys think that they're going to play Sandoval in the right spot. Are you playing him to pull? Are they going back to foul territory?
I think they may have to. They're going to their lucky spot. It's like a fishing hole.
And Sandoval on the first pitch taps this one to Kendrick. And Kendrick tags him, and that ends the inning. All right, guys, you can go back. 4-2 Phillies.
And we've got a new Diamond Girls for Giants fans up and ready at csnberry.com. Guys, it's with Amanda Hathaway, soon to be Amanda Noonan. That's right, it's Nick Noonan's fiance. We talk about upcoming wedding plans in November. And gentlemen, Miss Amanda was a collegiate softball player, and she has taught Nick a thing or two. Find out what it is, csnberry.com.
All right, Amy, we'll check that out as here's Dominic Brown. And Brown hammers this one just foul.
Tell you what, they've got inside. He's covered it. I think a lot of teams have been pitching this guy inside. He's long armed. And he's just wheeling that front side open. And he's guessed right a couple times. Guessed right last night, hit a long home run.
Yeah. Foul at the plate for Dominic Brown. He struck out and he's bounced out. Two and two.
Next pitch for Lincecum will be number 90. Hey, there's some authentic fans.
And a full count.
Dog's here. He's out there growling.
Lincecum will underhand this one to Belt. Here's Lance Nix. He's seen two pitches. He's 2 for 2.
Oh, he likes the first pitch. Hey, when you're away from the Bay Area and you can't watch the Giants on Comcast Sportsnet, you can take your team with you with MLB.tv. Visit MLB.tv to order and get more details. Baseball everywhere.
And Nix takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Posey, Pence, and Blanco will hit in the bottom of this inning. And that's bounced foul. Nationals got rained out today in our nation's capital. There it is, postponed.
Those are big time games of concern when you're doing interleague play, because you're the Nationals. You're not going to Detroit.
Triple header. And Lincecum wins round 3 with his 6th strikeout.
Perfect pitch with the fastball right above the hands. Nick's an aggressive swinger. He sees this one good, and he just cannot keep that top hand above it. Grab some pine meat.
Here's Ben Revere. Belt on one hop, juggles it, steps on the bag, and Buster Posey's going to lead things off. Posey, Pence, and Blanco for 2 Phillies.
Talk about Buster Posey. You look at how he started out at the beginning of the year and how often he chased off-speed pitches. He was hitting 095 on off-speed pitch. He was chasing a lot. Now, since April 18th, he's chasing less. He's identifying them more. And he is starting to scald. All about recognition. Start to string days together as a hitter is so important in establishing your strike zone. If you think back to the spring training, there were a lot of days where he played take a two days off. He didn't really string the at-bats together, and it wasn't until the season started that he was able to do that. And it took him about 2 weeks to get his strike zone. And once he did, he's been on a tear.
He singled to lead off the fourth. And here he takes low. Buster Posey 29 for 101. Gets underneath this one into center field as Ben Rivera will drift back. One out. I think he hit that ball pretty good.
Yeah, he did. Not good enough for this place. I like that. I think it was last year or the year before they were talking to Buster Posey about a number of balls that he had hit hard to the warning track that were outs. And he asked some questions, and they were leading questions about, well, I mean, doesn't this ballpark frustrate you? You had 5 balls hit to the warning track, and what did he say?
I just have to hit the ball a little further.
He did not bite.
Pence is 0 for 2. Blanco on deck. 6th inning. Tapped. Rollins. Rollins gets rid of it quickly, and they got him.
I don't know if they got him on the tag or did Ryan Howard stay in contact with the bag. The play really was made was how quickly Jimmy Rollins got rid of the ball. He knows Hunter Pence. He played with Hunter Pence, and he knows he's got good speed. He had to hurry the release. It looked like he did stay in contact with the bag. Good call.
Here's Blanco. Blanco's 0 for 2. Blanco trying to reach for Belt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blanco's average right now at 280. And Kendrick just misses with that front door sinker. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
What a weapon that pitch has been for him tonight. Neutralized a lot of left-handed at-bats.
Two and 2. Right in front of the writers section of the press box here at AT&T Park. Blanco way out in front rolls this one to Utley. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Kendrick. Kendrick will lead things off as we head to the 7th. Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. So it's Kendrick to lead things off. And Kendrick looks at a strike. Kendrick is 0 for 1. 4-2 Philadelphia. We have reached the 7th inning. Lincecum allowed a run in the first, 2 in the second, and the Utley home run in the 5th.
Pretty good hack there by Kyle Kendrick. Oh yeah, Sharon. It's like fish and chips.
Kendrick gets a piece.
Next pitch for Lincecum will be 100. Think back at the end of 2 innings. I mean, he was almost 45 pitches.
Got him.
It's amazing how he has always been able to find rhythm as the game has worn on. You can get him through that one cold spell early when he's searching for his release. Things have a tendency to iron out. He gave up the 3 runs in the 2 innings. In the first 2 innings, he faced 12 guys.
Sharing here as well. Here's Rollins. Rollins is 0 for 3.
Fun dessert to share. Just missed.
Rollins shoots it into left field, right past Sandoval. That's a 1-out single. And now Utley, who's been problematic for Lincecum, is coming up.
Well, it's also stolen base time. It's like Mihara's getting ready to get down and heat it up in the Giants bullpen. Pitch count certainly a concern of Bruce Bochy.
Swing and a miss by Utley. And it's 0-1. Utley, infield hit in the first. An RBI single up the middle in the second. And then a long home run way out over Triple's alley in the 5th inning. Big bouncing ball to Scudero. Scudero only plays at first. Is Utley's retired. Rollins moves into scoring position. And here's Young. Young has hit the ball hard twice. He's flown out to deep right field, and then Sandoval made a terrific play on a backhand to take a hit away from him in the 5th. And he had good at bats last night, and he's had good at bats tonight. And here he shoots this one down the right field line, and he's got another good at bat. This is going to knock in Rollins. The throw to second base is not in time, and it's 5-2.
Tell you what, you talk about a great approach. He is locked in. He hadn't had a bad at bat in this series. Little fastball that when they wanted it away, it comes right back into Michael Young. Just stays inside it beautifully. Slices it down the line for a 2-bagger and an RBI. That's a big run. .42 pitches after 2 innings with a 31 pitch first. And an 18-pitch third. I mean, after that, he just settled in. Pretty consistent, 11 to 13 pitches every inning. That's good. That's what you want. Hey, forget he wants 14 pitches or less per inning.
So here's Carlos Ruiz. Ruiz is 0 for 3. Inside corner, and it's 0-1.
With a slider. Go-to pitch when he needs to get in that strike zone. He's got a quick advantage, 0-1. Two pitches, two off-speed pitches, and a quick 0-2. This will be the last hitter he faces tonight.
Down low, blocked by Buster Posey.
Good block.
And Lincecum will knock this one down and flip onto Belt, and that'll end the inning. A run on 2 hits, 2 left. Giants have some work to do. And the Phillies leading 5-2.
Peter McGowan here with his wife Debbie tonight. There's Peter.
Peter looking for a free bag of peanuts? I don't think so.
No. And there's Debbie.
Here's Belt. Belt pops up the first pitch. It's Utley. 1 out. Stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live highlights, reaction, analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game. So here's Crawford. Crawford doubled in the third, and then he bounced out to third in the fourth. Noonan on deck. Crawford's got a base hit into right field.
2-hit night for Crawford. Well, the Atlanta Braves are coming to San Francisco. They'll be here this weekend, starting on Thursday, a 4-game series, May 9th through the 12th. And Saturday, May 11th, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Giants announcer bottle stopper courtesy of C's Candies. And then on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th, the first 20,000 fans will receive a World Champions Charm necklace presented by Genentech. So you need tickets, go to sfgiants.com. I want to get that, I want to get that, I want to get that.
Here's Noonan. Crawford at first, Noonan at the plate. And Noonan looks at a strike. No bullpen activity for the Phillies.
The first time every left-handed hitter has seen that front door sinker against Kendrick, they have frozen. Nobody has even gotten a swing on it. And Ruiz going right back in there again.
Cliff Lee, the winner from last night. He went 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts.
Tell you how dominant Kendrick has been tonight. Only 1 3-ball count the whole night.
Noonan, center field. But Ben Revere will put it away.
Ben Revere can cover some ground, folks.
2 outs, and here's Pagan. Pagan is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. So Pagan trying to extend this inning to get to Scudero, and then to get to the big fellas, the beef. And that pitch is down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Talked about Pagan's last at bat, how he was starting to identify that front door sinker early, and he was having better swings on it.
Pagan lifts this one high and foul.
See the pitch count by inning. 9 in the first, 12 in the third. Just 1 inning, the third, when the Giants scored their 2 runs, as he got over the preferred 14.
Here's the 1-1, and it's a bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Sandoval wanting to hit this inning. There are a lot of things that are good to the Giants have to happen before he can get in that batter's box.
Ooh, a good swing by Pagan, and it's now 2-2.
You're right, he was on that. And those are things you see from the side. If you're Charlie Manuel, skipper of the Phillies, or Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, you start to see guys get timing and those foul balls going straight back. It's rare that you see a guy get 4 at bats against a starting pitcher.
You're right. Here we are in the 7th. Pagan hitting for the 4th time. And he tried to get him with that pitch. And it's now a full count.
Well, with 2 outs, you know you're going to get the runner going.
Crawford will be on the move. It's 3-2. And this popped to left field for Dominic Brown, and that'll end the inning. So we'll head to the 8th. It remains 5-2 Phillies.
No way!
Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Kendrick has been fantastic. Lincecum got roughed up for 5 earned runs. Utley hit a long home run in this game. He's got 3 hits. And Marco Scudero's got a couple of hits for the Giants. It's 5-2 Philadelphia. And it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Jose Mijares coming in now. Just back, joined and activated with the team yesterday.
His grandmother passed away in his native country of Venezuela. He went back home. And this is out of play, club level, 0-2.
One of the really great things that the Players Association of Major League Baseball has agreed upon is the bereavement list. Before, the only time you could leave a team was on a disabled list. Otherwise, you left for 2 or 3 or 4 days, and they had to go shorthanded with 24 guys. Nice slider.
All right, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, Dwayne and Mike, during this series, Philly fans, they don't like orange and black. Giants fans, they don't like red and blue. Here's a couple of colors everyone can agree on. Jimmy Rollins and Kevin Franzen like royal blue and golden yellow, and they donned their Warriors t-shirts yesterday in support of their Bay Area team. Both of them, of course, from the Bay Area. Franny from San Jose and Jimmy is from Alameda, and they are sending the Warriors their best as they take on the Spurs again tomorrow night. Tough loss last night, but what a game, guys.
It was a tough loss. You know, it's one of those losses where, all right, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, yeah, I don't either. You're up by 14 with 4 to go. You're feeling pretty good.
John Mayberry. And that's a line drive foul. Mike, I want to go back to you were talking about the bereavement and how you can take 7 days, and it's no secret that teams will fudge with the disabled list. A guy maybe just dinged a little bit to play around with the roster. Nobody messes with the bereavement list.
They do not. And it's a 7-day list. And you can come back within 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. It's 1 and 2, and that's unusual for baseball because it's just kind of the way things are done, right? You try a little something here to mess with the roster, but the bereavement list,
and maternity list.
Crawford will charge, get under control, and throw a seed to Belt, 2 outs.
We want to wish a get well to John Turner, a buddy of ours. He's been a fantasy camper for many years. Who's a little under the weather. So, JT, get well, Meade. Mike Adams finishing off his warm-up throws. He will pitch the 8th inning.
I think the Giants are okay with that.
Yeah, you're right. Anything gets Kyle Kendrick out of the game. He's been that good tonight. Giant fan and Philly fan. Quiet ride home for somebody.
That's very true. And this is going to get away from Scudero as he had to cover the bag. And getting into second base is Ben Revere. A lot going on that play. So all of a sudden, the speed of Ben Revere, he's standing at second base.
Number 28, Kevin Franzen.
Kevin Franzen taking his at bat. Good to see him back in the big leagues. There's a big Kevin Franzen fan.
So here's Franzen hitting at 261. And he takes a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. Four for 11 as a pinch hitter.
Yep, Kevin Franzen fans everywhere. Made a lot of friends here when he played for the Giants. You would expect that from a local kid who makes it to the big leagues with the team that he rooted for as a kid.
Two balls and one strike. And that's out of play, 2-2. Kevin Franzen's first major league hit, maybe you remember. Came in 2006, right back up the middle. He did have 3 hits that day.
Well, it was a day that he'll never forget, or any of his friends or family members.
2-2. In the dirt, it's now a full count.
Back foot slide in the dirt. Fish were not biting. Now, he doesn't just have to challenge here. He's got a base at first to play with. And with 2 outs, really, he's got 2 bases. So make a good pitch here. That's a big run out there at second base.
And the walk.
It's a good pitch. That pitch right there is just trying to take advantage of a hitter who wants to swing the bat, who will go out of the strike zone when there's a runner in score position. And from Franzen's perspective, pretty good discipline to lay off.
Here's Rollins, and Rollins takes a strike on the inside corner.
She's a big Gregor Blanco fan. The great white shark. Yep. You just can tell.
You give our fans a chance to put something on their head, and they'll do it.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. Yeah. Caution. Seagulls.
Rollins fouls it out of play. It's 1-2.
Seagulls overhead. Thank you for the warning. This guy is not concerned about the Seagulls.
One ball and 2 strikes. He got him, and that'll end the inning. Giants need some runs. Marco Scutero will lead things off.
Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, get up to the minute you're up with Today in the Bay. See breaking news, your weather forecast, and real-time traffic. Watch Today in the Bay. Weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. on NBC Bay Area.
It's 5-2 Philadelphia. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Mike Adams, a new pitcher now for Philadelphia. And for Mike Adams, you may remember him when he was a member of the Padres. He had good stuff. He's got a low 90s fastball. He'll 2-seam and 4-seam it. He's got a good curveball, a slider, change-up. He'll throw everything. It's like taking a bat off a late-inning reliever who's a starter. That's the type of stuff he has.
So here's Scutero. And Scutero takes low and away.
Mike Adams 1-2 on the year with a 3.0 ERA. But get this, 12 innings pitched. He has struck out 17 against 5 walks. He's given up 10 hits. A couple of those hits, home runs.
That hits the outside corner at the knees. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Scudero trying to get on for Pablo Sandoval. And he shoots this one out of play. It's 1-2. Scudero 0 for 2 lifetime against Adams. This guy is going with the skipper jersey. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last night it was Lee for 8 and then Papelbon. Tonight Kendrick goes 7. Two and 2. Stay tuned for the post-game wrap in just a little bit, and Mike will also talk about the game with the morning guys, Murph and Mac, tomorrow morning on KMBR 680. Scudero. And Ben Revere runs underneath that one like there's nothing to it. 1 out.
He's got a lightning first step. And he needed it to get up to that one. That ball was hit well. Scudero's had a good night with a bat.
So here's Sandoval with 1 out.
Raleigh had time. Amen to that. Break him out.
Sandoval is 0 for 3.
Staying away. They pretty much stayed away all night to Sandoval. When they've come in bad. Sandoval 2 for 11 against Adams' lifetime, so he knows him quite well. And that's the thing about Adams, I think makes him unique. Not only will he give you 4 different looks, really 5 different types of movement if you think about the 2-seam, 4-seam fastball, but he'll throw anything at any time, and he's got corner command with everything, and that includes that curveball.
So Adams out in front of Sandoval very quickly. 0-2. One out, nobody on. 5-2 Phillies. We are in the 8th. And Sandoval is going to have a base hit right up the middle.
Well, another example of the type of 2-strike adjustments that he's learned to make at this level, which is why he hits for average. Now, we see him swing violently a lot, but in 2-strike scenarios, he'll take his swing off, or take swing out, and he'll go back up the middle. That is not a hanger. That's a good pitch. It's an impressive at bat. Good hit. Keep the line moving. This is the time of the lineup where you need to get some production if you're going to come back in this game down 3.
Here's Buster Posey. He's 1 for 3. Adams jumps out in front of Buster Posey. No balls and 1 strike. 0 for 3. That's Posey against Adams lifetime.
Yeah, 2 ground outs and a strikeout.
Drops a breaking ball in there for a strike.
Good curveball and a good one. That's 78 miles per hour.
So Posey now has the battle. A 1 and 2.
Same curveball, just stretched it out wide of the zone, hoping he'd get a guy to chase. And we talked about how Posey has been identifying off-speed stuff much better since the first 2 weeks of the season. And that's a good example of it right there. Not chasing, laying off it.
Got him.
So he set the fastball up with 3 breaking balls, and on a 1-2 pitch, he hummed him right above the hands inside corner. Excellent command of the fastball, and Posey was late.
So here's Pence. Pence has never had a hit off of Adams. He's 0 for 6. And he starts him off with a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
I don't think he was sitting on fastball speed. If you ever heard the phrase pitching a guy backwards, that's how Adams pitched Posey. Slider, curveball, and then the fastball. Back in the day in high school, it's fastball, get to a 2-strike count, then throw your curveball, see you later. Hence pitching backwards. Breaking ball, fastball. When we first saw Mike Adams with the Padres, his fastball would go 94, 96. And he has lost about 4 feet as the wear and tear has taken some of his velocity away. Cutter inside corner. And either Hunter Pence is looking another speed or he's looking middle away. Both times they've gone at him on the inside corner, and he's taken both of them.
Well, now he's way behind in the count. And he got him. And that'll end the inning. So we'll head to the 9th. It remains Phillies 5, Giants 2.
take on the Phillies for Game 3 of this 3-game series. It's a 12:30 start, pregame live at noon. You'll see right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Scheduled pitchers for tomorrow. For the Giants, it's going to be Barry Zito, and for Philadelphia, it'll be the right-hander Jonathan Pettibone.
We'll be here. We're going to get a good night's sleep, and we're going to be on our game tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
Here's Utley facing Mijares, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. And a strike to Utley, who's hit a home run tonight. He's got 3 hits. These guys are talking to them. You just lean over and talk to your guy, right?
Well, you would think. Hey, but when you got the minutes, might as well use them. He's waving at you smooth.
Two balls and 1 strike, and Utley pops this one straight up. This is going to be right around the mound area, and it's going to be Crawford who will back up and put it away. We're just waiting for the baby giraffe to hit, and he will hit second in the 9th.
Gamer babes. What would we do without him?
Here's Michael Young. Young has had 4 good at bats.
He's an Angel fan.
Taps this one foul. His last at bat, a 2-out double down the right field line to knock in the 5th run in this game off of Tim Lincecum.
Yeah, he really has looked balanced in this series.
Hunter Pence will move back. 2 down.
Tell you what, Jose Mijares does not look like he's got any rust on him at all.
No, not at all.
He missed a week on the bereavement list, and he has picked it right up since coming back.
So here's Ryan Howard, who's walked twice.
Took a little off that slider. I mean, almost looked like a curveball. You see Jonathan Papelbon, the closer for the Phillies, getting heated up.
Hit very high and deep. Pagan at the wall. It is gone. And the big fella got into one, and he hits it over the Visa sign, and it's now 6-2.
Okay, that swing right there didn't remind you of Willie McCovey. Nothing else ever will. That is a big man's home run right there. And we've seen 2 of those tonight. Ahead the count. Gets it right out of the middle of the plate. We're talking T-ball location. And watch this power off the backside. Boom. Great extension through the ball. That was loud, folks.
And Ruiz hits this one into the hole. Crawford's got it. And now he just could not get it out of his glove. because he was about to throw out Carlos Ruiz. The home run, by the way, for Howard is 6th. So here's Dominic Brown. Brown with a high pop-up that Sandoval is going to have to scoot. And he's going to run into or very close to the ball dude. And it's out of play.
That's a stressful time if you're a ball dude. You don't know where to go. All right, let's watch him. I'm saying in that particular time, he could have done a better job.
Yeah, maybe like look to see where the ball was. Blanco moving back as that ball starts to carry. And that'll end the inning. So the home run makes it a 4-run lead for the Phillies with Blanco to lead things off.
Bay Area.
6-2 Phillies. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Jonathan Papelbon, the new pitcher for Philadelphia. Papelbon on the year, no record with a 1.50 ERA. He's got 5 saves. In 12 innings, he has allowed 6 base runners, 5 by way of the hit, 1 walk. He has struck out 7. And when you take your bats off him, you're going to see a loaded mid-90s fastball, pretty straight, good hard slider, and a split. And his split is legit. He throws it hard. One of the hardest splits in the game.
Well, he'll have to get through 3 left-handed hitters. The 6th, 7th, and 8th place hitter in this Giants lineup. And it will be Blanco, who's hitless. Blanco is 0 for 3. All right.
It is rally halftime. It is officially rally halftime.
Blanco bluffing a bunt, and he takes a strike. In at third is Young. Young still thinking that Blanco might lay down a bunt. And he takes the pitch high. See Howard also a couple of steps beyond the bag at first. Giants need base runners any way they can get them. And this is popped up for Jimmy Rollins. 1 out. Blanco 0 for 4 tonight. Here's Belt. Belt singled in the 3rd inning. Yeah, they got to try to change something here. All right.
Yeah, they're working the mojo.
Give them credit. They're trying.
Turn that giraffe hat inside out. They haven't left their seats. They're staying to the end. And they're still having a lot of fun. But right now the Giants need to make something happen.
Belt off his fist, fouls it out of play.
Nice plant job with that fastball in the hands, middle, right on the hands. Beautiful pitch.
Belt, foul.
And they're making no bones about it. I mean, they're exaggerating that target from Carlos Ruiz. They're really setting up inside.
Yeah, I think Brandon Belt has a pretty good idea how they're going after him. Ooh, Peppelbond started to walk off. It's 1-2.
It's just good use of the fastball. He four-seamed him twice on the hands with a nice little cut that had movement running into him. And then in an 0-2, he goes to the outside corner with a two-seam fastball with that movement running away. I mean, that's a great 0-2 pitch. Still hasn't showed him the split of the slider. And there was the split. And look at the velocity, 86 miles per hour.
Two and two. Belt pops it up. It'll be Mayberry in right field who puts it away. All right. Keep the faith, girls. Here's Crawford.
All right. Change. We're going to go back to this hat. Crawford's had a good night.
Here he takes low and away. A good night. Well, he doubled in the 3rd. Bounced out to 3rd in the 4th. And singled into right field in the 7th. Fouls this one out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
A little tardy on that 1-0 fastball.
Your 4 and 5 hitters watching Crawford hit. Ball back, 1-2.
Sometimes a mislocation can be a pretty good pitch. They set that target on the outside corner. kind of had a little sling in his delivery, but it wound up being a fastball right on the inside corner at the hands. Good pitch. Hey, Gamer Babe got it.
Waited all night. Crawford shoots it off the top of the backstop. Andres Torres has grabbed the bat. He's on deck. And Crawford making it a little tough on Papelbon. That ball hit the bar, and it's a good thing Ruiz turned around to see what was going on, because it came back and Ruiz caught it.
Could have put a bruise on his back.
Seagulls are coming in.
Yeah, this is a heck of an at bat. That last pitch was perfect from Papelbon. It had some fuzz on it. Brandon Crawford fought it off.
And Crawford strikes out to end the ball game. So game 2 in this 3-game series, it goes to the Philadelphia Phillies, and for the second game in a row, the Phillies starting pitching has been fabulous.
Well, you're right. I mean, as good as Cliff Lee was last night, Kyle Kendrick was better tonight. He was fantastic with that sinker using both sides of the plate, and his bullpen was almost perfect. 7 hitters in the 8th and 9th inning combined, and that's one you got to tip your cap to.
All right, final score here at AT&T Park: the Phillies 6 and the Giants 2. Esurance Giants post-game live with interviews and the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio for this update.